I was in Los Angeles in 2013 for a conference and had the chance to see one of Jay Leno's last shows. So me and some other advisors drove down, watched the show, and then at the end of the show, I wanted to go to my favorite restaurant, Red Lobster. Unfortunately, our GPS wasn't working, so we're sitting around the parking lot and we're like, well, let's just get on the road. Let's just go somewhere. We're stuck, tired of just sitting there. So we get out in the road and didn't know where we were going. And eventually the GPS clicks on. Apparently we started going the wrong way. And so we end up spending an hour and a bit in LA rush hour traffic, which is just brutal. And then near the end of the journey, it takes us on a detour through Compton. And Compton is some of the rougher areas of LA. And this GPS took us through the roughest area, and it kept on getting worse. Like we got and some of the guys in the car were like, whoa, like I'm not feeling safe here. And getting closer and closer to our destination. Eventually we crossed some imaginary line. The street turns really nice and there's a Red Lobster, and we go into the Red Lobster and have a really nice meal. And so, that was us going on a journey without a plan. And so I'm going to talk about some of the elements of financial planning. And, the first thing is, as with our trip, impatience can kill a plan, right? We get so frustrated. We're not where we want to be. We want to be there now. Let's make it happen. Let's take some shortcuts. Let's just do. And so I think before you do any planning, just say, be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. We got a long journey ahead, and it's going to take us some time to get there. Number two, know where you're going. We didn't know where we were going. Well, we knew where we were going. We just didn't know where it was. We just thought to start driving. And so with a plan, know where you're going. So when do we want to retire? How much do we want to live on? What does the future look for us? And that's going to give you a sense of, okay, are we going to get there? Well, we're wanting to spend $100,000 a year and we only have $100,000 a year saved now. Well, there's going to be some changes there. Maybe the spending has to come down and the savings got to go up to make it work. Number three, know where you are, right? So do a net worth statement. Say, hey, what's our house worth minus the mortgage? What are our investments worth? What are our cars worth minus the loans? What do we have right now? Where are we right now? And that's going to give you a nice, okay, so we're here and then we want to go there. How do we make that happen? Number four, be cash flow planning. So you got to figure out your cash flow, and that could be a budget or just hey, what's coming in and what's going out? What's the difference? And maybe on a monthly basis, you might be kind of go, but then ever since there's a big lump sum and then you're going to go into negative and you got to wait for a bonus. So I would calculate stuff that happens annually and maybe every couple of years too, right? There's stuff you should be budgeting for, like new car, house maintenance, stuff that might, when it hits, it's unexpected. But if you were to look over 20 years, it's probably expected you're going to spend so much a year. So we'll factor that in. Number five is debt management, right? And so we want to manage our debt and take a look at it, right? So see, hey, what loans do we have outstanding? What's our mortgage at? What rate do we have? What payment are we at? And when is it supposed to be paid off? How much is our car loan? And so write that all out so you have and that might give you hey, this one loan here is really a high rate. Let's pay that down. Or this one's really small. Maybe we could pay that one off first and then take the extra savings from that and put it on another mortgage. And finally, insurance coverage. Now, you don't have to insure everything, but what happens if you die? What happens if you can't work as a disability? What happens if you have a critical illness? And figuring all that out. And so, and know what your risks are, right? And so you say, hey, you know what? If I die and have this much life insurance, I think it's going to use more, but maybe it's enough. Or, critical illness, we're going to cover that ourselves, or maybe we want coverage. And so just know what you're covered for and know what would happen if you had something happen. So those are some tips and some diving into financial planning. There's a lot more there, but that's a great start. Hope you liked it. Have a great day.